Hello and welcome to today's stream. Let me move this real quick. Welcome Opus, welcome Gundam. Ooh, I hope you can humor me for one moment, and when I say a moment, I literally mean a moment. As though this is the Psycho build, I just want to quickly take a moment to finish this build, which we weren't able to finish on stream because they had to wait for the paint and everything to set. Let us finish this, the Pink Panther real quick, if it will come together. That looks like a handsome boy. I still need to put the decal here, but we can do that at the end of stream. Ooh. But for today's build, let us continue the Psycho Mark II. And if you are in chat and you do not know about the poll, that I have half a Gundam X in here. I have the weapons for I have the master grade like F91 weapons in. I got the hands for the Kasi Gundam. What is going on in here? But if you don't know who the characters are in the poll, let me describe them. Let me think of Chara is a character who gets brainwashed into becoming a dominatrix. Relina is a character who tries to get a man to come tries to find a man by shouting, "I'm here, kill me." She just has a death wish. Flay watches her father die in front of her and decides that should be everyone else's problem. And so she makes it everyone else's problem. And then Lady Oon just has multiple personality disorder. They're all pretty wonderful and crazy. I love them all. Damn it. Hey, Merrick, YouTube has down for a few minutes earlier. I'm feeling sad because I can't eat and watch, why do you watch a mukbang? Why would you watch a mukbang while you eat? Ooh. I feel like that would ruin my appetite, personally. Yeah, she's the glasses woman from Gundam Wing. The one where Trey's Kusranada literally says, like, he literally goes like, yeah, she loves me a lot. She wants to be like a diplomat and a warrior for me, but she can't be both. So she just like literally made herself go insane and have two different personalities. And it's just like, I can't believe they like wrote that into just being the literal circumstance of the show. Gundam Wing is amazing. Let's keep going. Okay. So I'm gonna have to find all the sprues all over again. YouTube shooting themselves in the foot. It might not even be about the ad block. It might just be YouTube being crap. That's the biggest thing. It's like, is it YouTube, you know, doing the whole like, oh, we're like updating because of ad block and making our website less functional? Or is it just YouTube making itself less functional because they're idiots? You never know. That's what it is for every website. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, like all of them. It's just like, are they doing it to like spite, like to cut off their nose to spite their face? Or are they just so stupid that they're trying to do something helpful and just shooting themselves in the face instead? You can never know. Ooh, it's Schrodinger's competency, or incompetency rather. Where's my phone that has all the topics for today's stream? I wrote down so many topics for today. Hold up. I wrote down so many topics, and the one thing I don't have is my phone. Oh, this is bad. I literally turned everything upside down looking through my headphones. In the process, let me turn back to the mic. In the process, I lost everything else. Ooh. I make good food. Tonight I made hush puppies. And if you don't know what a hush puppy is, because you're not from the United States, I'll explain in a second. But I made cornbread battered catfish, mushroom soup with a side of hush puppies. And hush puppies is cornbread, or corn batter rather, It's cornbread batter that's made a little thicker than normal cornbread batter. And what you do is you deep fry it instead of baking it. So you get like little deep fried donuts of cornbread. And I threw some Cajun spice in there. It was amazing, chat. It was so good. Oh my god. You throw Cajun spice into certain foods. You make certain southern foods, chat. It's better than sex. Oh my god. Sex is fleeting. Southern food is eternal. You add just enough pepper so it gets your taste buds activating, but it doesn't overheat your tongue. Oh my god. And my mouth is watering just thinking about it, and I already ate. Ooh. It's only bread. If you're American. Ooh. The fact that not all Americans are diabetics kind of surprises me with what I'm about to say. But what I was going to say is, if you're American, what you do is you throw your bread, which has like several grams of sugar in it already, but you throw that in a toaster, you toast it, then you take it out and you put jam, which is just fruit sugar, over top of it, and you eat it. There's no such thing as bland food in America. We are all unhealthy pieces of crap. The fact that we are all not 500 pounds and diabetic is one of life's great mysteries. It's going good, it's going good. Ooh. Right now I'm just looking for, I think I have the right sprue out, I do. I'm just looking for what I need to cut out here. I think it's gonna be 14, where's 14? I had a bunch of topics to talk about today with my phone, but I seem to have misplaced my phone, so I might have to take a step out and then literally tell someone in the next room over to call my phone. But I think it might be silenced. My phone is silenced, so that I can't do that crap. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I just ran over something important. I just ran over the, I forget what this is called, but I ran over merch from my Kami Oshi. I just ran over this. Never run over Kami Oshi merch, chat. That is 5,000 years bad luck. Yeah, it's not bread, it's cake. It's effectively cake is what American bread is. It is low sugar cake, which is to say it's a diabetes food. That's fair. Like, one of my biggest problems is when I make pastas and whatnot, or noodles, is like, noodles are so good to have, but you never want to have them 2 times in a row. It's not like, say, cereal or toast or something like that. Like, you can have cereal, toast, or a sandwich. You can have like that. You could have a sandwich for breakfast, like lunch and dinner. You couldn't have like pasta for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You couldn't have noodles for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You'd just be like, I want to die by. I want to die by dinner. It'd just be too many carbs. It'd be awful. You hear a D? Remember when I said I needed to like set out all of these in a mat? I was joking, but I'm realizing that joke I should have just taken seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna take all the double sprues, and I'm gonna put them to one side, so I can find those the easiest. So this one, this one, this one, and IG. Welcome, Storm, welcome. And also, I don't think I said welcome, Ivan, welcome. Ooh. I it's taco, so it can't be like that. Well, I don't know the ethnicity. If it's a white person giving you the taco, it could be anything could be in there, in all honesty. If it's a Hispanic person giving you the taco, pretty safe. If they're white, though, I pray for you. It was white people who were like, you know what this, there it is. You know what tacos need? It needs sour cream. And then the Hispanics looked at them and was like, what did you just say? It's like, yeah, this is pretty good. But we could use some spoiled, we could use some spoiled cream on it. You know, spoiled enough where, it's sour, but not so spoiled where it's inedible. What the frick is wrong with American palates? We have one of the most schizophrenic palates. We have one of the most schizophrenic palates in the world. Ah, found my phone. I have my topics. Oh, that's actually a good topic to start with. Coke. I remember when America put they didn't put cocaine, that is a misnomer, in Coca-Cola, but they did use the extract from the cocoa leaves in the Coca-Cola. So it's kind of like a difference without a meaning to a certain extent. A lot of American sodas like that though, where we would take a plant that's effectively poisonous and really bad for us and be like, yeah, we're gonna ground it up and liquefy it, and that's gonna be our soda. We did the same thing with sarsaparilla, which is a roots. And originally sarsaparilla, with how it was made, was a little bit poisonous, just a little. And so they had to stop making it and they had to replace it with root beer as a not so toxic alternative. We just really love just putting harmful chemicals in our bodies. Red dye 45, yes please, or whatever it's called. It's a that's not a taco. That sounds more like a weird pierogi or dumpling. It's a form of a pie. Wait, it's in the form of a pie. Yeast rolls on the crust of... It made it sound like a dumpling crossed with... I forget what it's called, but when you take a tortilla and you fold it in a reverse... I want... Not like a flower, because the flower blooms out, but a bud, a flower bud. You put it all and you tuck it all in like a flower about to bloom. Oh, there's my tweezers. I was wondering where those were. Ooh. Right here. Are you the... No, you're D. You. Yeah. God, that needs to be sanded. That is horrendously colored. But you are doubles, so you can be put over here. A is not a double. I really need to organize my Tomoe Umari merch. I think that's the only... Wait. No, I have merch from another one or two Oshis. But I have so much Tomoe Umari merch because she's my Kami Oshi. It's just everywhere. It's just not organized at all. Oh god, I bring this on us. Let's see. Is A a double? A might be a double. I hope it's not a double. No, it's not. I found A. Okay. Ooh. But actually, before stream, I was thinking about the fact in Gundam Seed, how in Gundam Seed, they really do the Char clone dirty, because one of the more interesting things about Gundam Seed is its Char clone, because they keep the mystery of who the Char is in the universe and his backstory really well. So, and we know he has an ulterior motive. He's really not half bad done as, the mysterious figure that Char was in the original series. Like, they actually do a good job at that, but the problem is that he's not the rival of the series, is that the Char clone of Gundam Seed isn't the rival. That's Athrun. So like, almost all of his screen time, I was gonna say like half of his screen time, no. Most of the screen time that would have gone to the Char clone in Gundam Seed goes to Athrun instead. And so the Char clone kind of just like appears at the beginning of the series, kind of keeps popping up to be like, I exist throughout the series, and then at the end he's like, Flag, here's the big like Flago or whatever his name is, here's the big reveal of my character and all this stuff. And it's like, wow, this would be so much more impactful if like the Char clone and Flag were the main characters and antagonists instead of, you know, the amazing Wonder Twinks Athrun and Kira. Kind of weird that they have this, how they split that up. Ooh. You like Lieutenant Slugger's clone in Gundam Seed? Let's go. Lazy food is nice. Ooh. 1 minute, I'm just... Ooh! He is a Lieutenant Slugger clone, isn't he? I forgot that guy's name was Slugger. I had to look it up for a second. I like Slugger. He's such an out-of-pocket character, and I know his existence in the story makes a lot of sense, because the point of Slugger in the story is to be the actual... Well, he's kind of a replacement for Ryu in a sense, where Ryu was the one person who was an actual soldier aboard the crew. When Ryu's gone, they effectively replace him with Slugger, and Slugger becomes the veteran among the crew. He's the one person who's been like fighting the 1 year war the whole time, and he just has no time for the fact that he's on board a ship with a bunch of children. I mean, he smacks the helmsman at one point. That's a famous scene where he just runs from off screen to slap a woman because she's being hysterical. And it's just like, wow. But it's like, hey, that's Bright Noah's job. How dare you? He did, that's true. That's because in Seed, he's there from the beginning. He also has a great send-off. He sacrifices himself like Slugger. But I feel like the Slugger's sacrifice is meaningful, but it's not like, I forget his name, but Flaga's. It's not like Flaga's sacrifice in Gundam Seed. Flaga's sacrifice in Gundam Seed, you're like, no, you're one of the better written characters in this show. Don't go. I like you. And it's like, nah, I gotta die. I'm too good to be in this show. I need to die. Oop, dog hair. Muy la Flaga, aka Slugger clone. Okay. Okay, I was right saying Flaga. I wasn't sure if it's Flag or Flaga. Oop. That's true. You're right. Well, no, she like proposes to him or something like that, where she's like, oh, hey, you hit me. That really turned me on. And he's like, listen, I'm like 40 years old and you're like 16. I'm gonna go and die instead. I'm gonna go out there on the battlefield and I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna go get murked by the Big Zam. I think I put it on a little bit backwards, but I fixed it. And then, okay, I see how this goes on. Yeah, this is some really nice engineering. It's always nice to see the newest kits and what they're doing. It's always kind of exciting to see how they're pushing the envelope. We like to poo-poo on Bandai here, but I'll give credit where credit is due. Their kits are advancing. Ooh, sometimes you get a kit that you can tell was was, you know, a holdover and was designed several years ago. But when you get a kit that you know was designed in the last 2 years, you're always like, ooh, pretty. It was Slegger who proposed to her? Oh my god. I almost gotten that. I got that backwards. He just had one in his pocket? I mean, maybe it's from his last wife, or maybe his grandma was like, take this ring so when you find a good girl, you can propose to her. I mean, my dad proposed to my mom with what was it? It was like, it was a, okay, so I got this wrong. I thought it was like a soda cap or soda popper, because those used to be really big. No, it's even more, it's worse than that. It was a bottle ring. So like, if you know, like in a bottle, how when you open a bottle, it has that like part underneath that keeps it connected. He proposed with that part of the bottle lid, because my mom was like gonna leave him, and he's like, I need an ace in the hole. Will you marry me? He was actually, the ring was on the way. He didn't just, like, it wasn't just random. He was planning to propose to her, but the ring was running late. Ooh. Bah. My dad, a true romantic. Let's see here, and then N. For the end? Yes, they are. So N. Ooh. N2, I think, both of them. Yeah, N2. So we're gonna have to be accurate with this one. The tamper seal, yes, pretty much that thing. Ooh. I like how he got upset at me one time because I got that wrong, and he's like, no. It's worse than that. It's the tamper. Like, he's been like, no. You're getting it wrong. It wasn't a bottle. Sorry, it wasn't a soda can, it was a bottle. And it's like, well, that makes it worse on so many levels. It's like, you need to be accurate with it. You need to be accurate with your story. Ooh. Crashed. Fuck. Are we back? Are we back? Are we streaming? Are we live on YouTube? OBS just crashed. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to check myself real quick. Oh my god. We're back? Oh, thank god, thank you. Yeah, I just heard a beep. I just heard a brum, and I looked over and my computer is just like, OBS crashed. Oh no. What have I done to deserve this? Okay, so I'm gonna do something real quick to make it less likely that that happens again. Close. Okay. Okay. I have closed the Brave browser, which is where my ad block is, so we should be more stable in theory. That's not a promise though, knock on wood. Wait, my desk is so dirty. Knock on wood. Nope. There we go. Why knock on wood? No, you weren't lagging. No, OBS just decided to, like, go kaput for no apparent reason. This is gonna be so much easier to transform than the other Psycho Gundam, and I'm still never going to transform it. God bless. And then M. Oh god, I don't even know where an M sprue is. D. Oh, you're doubles. You need to go over here. F. D. L. L. Wait, there's two L2s. I think one would be L1 and one would be L2. That's a hell of a thumbnail. That's a it's a German VTuber, and I'm gonna show this to you. That is a hell of a thumbnail. I know I've actually seen this short on Twitter already, but it's a German VTuber. But this is the thumbnail. Like, ignore the thing on the right. It's the one on the right, not the one on the left. But I hope you can read that. It says, "I have a dick." Oh god. This is a joke about... It's a joke about just how, like, VTubers are all men. And male VTubers are all actually secretly 12-year-old girls. Oh god, that reminded me. That reminded me of the fact that on the front page of Twitch there was a... what is it? Diaper kink, baby fur, or whatever they're called. I think they're called cubs or something. But there was a diaper kink baby fur, and it's just like... That was on the front page. That was actually on the front page of Twitch, like, a day or two ago. Ooh. And if you don't know what that is, it's somebody who's, like... wants to pretend that they're underaged and wear diapers, and they get sexual gratification out of it. That was on the front page of Twitch. Ooh. I don't know how the site continues going, in all honesty. It's one of life's great mysteries, how this thing stays alive. Oh, M2. No, I need M1. Hold up, I'm gonna look at the box real quick. Ah, it's a red piece. Okay. I only keep Twitch for clips. Like, I mean, also people who want to watch on Twitch, I'm not, like, lamenting you, but... I mean, like, you guys have to sit through, like, half a minute of ads, like, every hour. Which isn't a lot, but at the same time, on YouTube, you don't have to sit through any ads. I mean, in all honesty, I kind of want to, like, if I ever get monetized on YouTube, just never be monetized. Like, while I'm live, at least. I think one of the dumbest things I can do, but one of the most petty things I can do, is just be like, okay, on, be like, on Twitch, max ads, no ads on YouTube, go watch on YouTube. That's actually a bannable offense, though, on Twitch, now that I remember it, is if you don't have the same amount of ad breaks on both platforms, Twitch can ban you for that. But I have no ads on YouTube because I'm not monetized. So what do? Technically speaking, every time I stream on Twitch, I am breaking the Twitch rules because I do not have ads on YouTube. That's how stupid the rules are on Twitch. It was a furry version of a normal crinkle bottom. Ooh. Oh my god. I forgot that's what they do, where they're like, oh yeah, the diaper is crinkly. Oh god, I suppressed that from my brain, dude. I remember one VTuber I watched once, like, watched My Strange Addiction, and the addiction was somebody who went into, like, dumpsters to get used diapers, and it's just the most... Some of you are eating, I'm sorry about that. Some of you are eating breakfast, I'm so sorry. Ooh, let's not talk about something absolutely revolting and disgusting. I am so sorry for that. I forgot some of you are eating. That is my bad. Explore you like for bleach in my eyes and ears. Don't worry, bleach is safe. Bleach is mostly water. You are mostly water. Therefore, you are bleach. Therefore, bleach is safe. Drink the bleach. Medical disclaimer. Do not end your own life drinking bleach. I shouldn't be liable if you die under those circumstances, but I would be. America's a silly place. You can murder people and walk free on the streets, chat. You can be a serial killer and walk free on the streets. But you made a little bit of joke online and somebody took it seriously? Well, you're culpable for that. Life in prison. No early release. There we go. Ooh, you were already done. Good. Good. Oh my god, my dog is not in the room with me, but that's because he's never in the room while I'm streaming. I wouldn't mind him being in here, but he always leaves whenever I start stream. It's like the opposite of Hassan's dog. Also, I don't electrocute him, so it's like the double opposite of it, the Hassan's dog. I actually show my dog affection and love, but no. My dog, I haven't allowed him on the furniture for a while. And I let him up on the furniture recently because, you know, I got covers on the furniture and whatnot so he won't get his hair and his filth all over it. But today I had to, like, clean the covers so, like, he couldn't get up on the furniture. And, like, the whole time, he would just walk up to the furniture and just go, oh, oh, well, I'd be on the other side of the room and I'd be like, no, you can't go up on the furniture. And he'd just look over at me and go, He's such a quiet dog. He doesn't bark or anything. But sometimes he'll just do that whenever he wants to be extra pitiful. He'll just go, welcome, Zaza. It seems like a lot of people have been having trouble with YouTube, in all honesty. Today, for me it was OBS crashed like a little bit earlier, but it seems everyone's YouTube must have rolled out a new update or something. F A E N. I'm gonna look at the box. I'm gonna look at the box and see what color it is. It is purple. Okay. G is not a double piece, is it? It's not a double piece. It's not a twin piece. C? I need G, not C, right? Yeah. I have half the screws laid out and I still can't find anything. L. The dog shot. That's one of my favorite videos of the Hassan one, where the dog comes out of the background and like jumps up to Hassan and just zaps him with like electricity from his paws. D B B E? No. I H. Oh, that's an odd number. Uh-oh, I messed up. So G isn't a double. I made that mistake. Okay. Very quiet piano. Oh god, you only know the... God, there's so many terms I don't want to know. I remember the first Big Littles, which is like another term for people who do age play, where they're adults but they pretend to be children. And it's a kink. Big Littles. I found out about that one from Zach Hadel in an Oni Plays, where he was just like talking about one that he saw online, where it's just this adult woman who's just pretending to be like a 5-year-old girl, and it's like, that's weird. And then it's like, yeah, it's for a kink. I want the rapture to happen. I want, we've lived long enough. We have had it, we have reached the peak of sin. Sodom and Gomorrah, let's go. Hold up, I'm actually going to, I think, panel line this in black because there's red right here. Oh, wait, no, wait. I have an idea. That's never a good sign. Where is my... There it is. Wow, Gear and Greed goes to the neon... Okay, damn, Gear and Greed, keep going. I thought it'd just be the 1-year war because it's literally called Girin's Greed, but it's actually really cool that it... There's water in there. I thought it'd just be the 1-year war. That's actually really cool that it just keeps going. Okay, so... that brush is too big, and I'm missing half of my brushes, I think? No, they're all here. Okay. Okay, and that is done. And then I need to thin the paint, so we're gonna use some water to thin it out, to be basic and whatnot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're not even going to use this brush because it's too big. Really? Well, that explains why there's a Penelope in it. I thought the Penelope was just like an Easter egg or something, but it makes a lot more sense that you have so many later mobile suits in the game. That explains a lot. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that looks so much better. Thin your paints. Ah! We're gonna let that dry. Then we're probably gonna clean it off using a... I really have no idea where any of my supplies are for, like, building and whatnot. This room is an absolute mess. That looks terrible. Well, I kind of achieved what I wanted to do with that, though. I'm gonna need to get some sanding. I need to get a sanding stick to, like, get rid of those ugly, ugly marks. I need to do that before I put the piece on. No, don't be difficult, piece. There we go. Oh my goodness. Sorry to hear you're dealing with some annoyance. Ooh. No! Actually, I have a note here. We've been dogging on furries a little bit. Ooh. Because furries have been a little bit weird recently. And so that narrows it down. But, as a sign of goodwill, I will say, I don't have anything against furries, because furries are literally just a different type of monster screwer. Can't say the actual proper term. And I've made it very clear that, like, if you want to do aliens, you're one step away from a furry. If you've ever seen a Twi'lek from Star Wars, which is those aliens with the head tendrils, you put suction cups on those head tendrils, you now have a squid girl or an octopus girl. Ooh, and you'd still bang her. So... he is fucking... And then... But you can't be like, I'm okay with doing a Lamia, but then look at somebody strange because they want to do a werewolf. Jesus. Look on Discord. And I'm fucking so distracted right now because I don't know if you can hear it, but somebody's just speaking right outside my fucking door, just shouting. What the fuck is he doing? That'd be really fucking distracting. Hold up, give me one fucking moment. God forbid, just because you have your phone on speaker doesn't mean you have to fucking yell at it. Jesus Christ, that was annoying. Had to get up and fucking... Oh my God, just like right outside the door, just yelling into a speakerphone. And it's like, it's a phone, you don't need to yell into it, for Christ's sake. Christ alive, sorry about that. Well, if you're talking about different term, the different term for people who want to like screw like aliens and monsters are monster effers. Ooh. Like, was it interspecies reviewers and whatnot? But the big difference though is monster effers still want to like screw a woman. Like all furries, they have the head of an animal. But monster efforts, like a Lamia, is just a mermaid, but a snake instead. A mermaid still is mostly a woman, and she has a cloaca, so you can probably still bang that. What else is there? A lot more. Centaurs are not allowed. You're just into, like, you are just a closeted you're just a closeted person into bestiality. Centaurs are just bestiality with an excuse. Those ones are not okay. Harpies. It's a person with wings. And so on and so forth. So there is a difference. Ooh. I? We need to get the double piece for I. Scalies are reptiles. Ooh. And possibly also like fish people or something. I once asked about that. I was like, what do you call it? Because I knew a furry, and I was like, what do you call like people who are fish? Like, do you call them slimies or slipperies or something? And they're just like, they're also scalies. And I'm like, that's confusing. What do you call, you know, octopus, like, you know, furries? You know, like, would they be like a slimy or a slippery then? And it's like, oh, those are like, you know, we just count them as fish, so they're also scalies. And it's like, what the, everything's a fish by that extension. Ooh. Mammals are fish. Cephalopods are not. You guys will spend all day doing tech code, all day making your like OC persona do not steal. But then when it comes down to categorizing them, you guys just like, your autism just leaves you and you go like, I can't be bothered. Ooh. A lot of fish do have scales, but it's still confusing if you call like two different things scalies. I didn't really pry too much on the topic though, because also I didn't really care. I don't really care, it's furry stuff. Ooh. I cared just enough to get annoyed and be like, you know what, I don't wanna talk about this anymore. Let's see here. Though actually one of the biggest, actually having a furry friend taught me one of the biggest misunderstandings with furries is that they're loaded and have a lot of money. That's not true at all. It's actually kind of sadder than that. The truth is that where you go out and you drink with your friends or you spend your money on Gunpla or whatever, they just spend all of their money on their hobby, which is their furry stuff. And it just looks like they have a lot of money because it's the only thing they're spending money on. That and drugs. That's one of the biggest things I learned with knowing a furry. They do not have more money, they just have more of a focused autism. And also why a lot of furry designs look alike is because everyone wants to have a fursona. Not everyone can draw. So the few people who can draw, who typically draw similar to one another, do like 90% of all the fursona art. So that's why all the fursona designs look all the same. We're learning random things that you never wanted to know, chat. Let's get off the topic of furries. Oh my god, if the next note has anything to do. Okay. Actually, give me 1 minute. While I look for sanding. I better not be muted now. For some reason, I was paranoid that I was muted for a second. It's got Columbo's box set. What's the Columbo box set there? That's the Duke controller. Okay, this isn't even comically dirty. This is just stupid. So smart. I put them in a reasonable place, chat. Ooh. Haven X and 4 others Oh, yes! My voice broke. Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I didn't catch the whole thing, but yes. I saw the 7-person collab. Ooh. With friend of the channel. Ooh! 7-person collab with friend of the channel, Area Lulu. Let's see here. Again, I sadly didn't get to see the whole thing, but I was happy to see that she was able to make time because she's such a busy girl. They played Among Us. With those retro vibe feelings. 3,000. 5,000. 7,000. I think that's as far as we go. Where's my nail polish? Not nail polish, but nail polisher. Am I intelligent? Am I smart? Yes. I love being smart. Oop. I put all of my polishing supplies in one place. I feel like I'm not an idiot for once. Hello, Hunt. Oop. Relina is not psycho. She's just too enamored with peace. Oop. She's not a psycho. Counterpoint, she stood up on a beach to get a hero to come for her. She stood on a beach and shouted, "Hero, here I am! Kill me!" Relina's a special kind of Relina, it's insulting to call her stupid, so we're gonna call her crazy instead. Ooh. To be honest though, I was able to figure out Lady Une, Flay All-Star, and Chara for crazy. But for like the fourth one, it was a toss-up between Persona or whatever her name is from like G-Witch. Ooh. But I hadn't seen G-Witch, so I didn't know how crazy she was, but she did put her child into a robot, so she probably qualifies, but I wasn't sure, so I used Relina instead. The thumbnail, sadly, I haven't gotten to Victory, so I couldn't use her either. For crazy. One of the biggest driving forces for Gundam that keeps me watching it is just to find out what new crazy women will they put into the series. No, like, Chara's the first, like, full-on crazy, but there's crazy women before Chara. Chara's just the most obvious, like, early on UC. There are crazier women. That one chick that literally betrays Ayuk for, like, because she's like, oh yeah, I like Paptimus more. She's a little crazy herself. But she's not full-on crazy like some of the other ladies. That's more wild than crazy. Let's see here. This. Okay, I've not sanded in a while, and I forgot you are not supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this. Then this is where the fun begins, because I actually need to apply another coat, but I need to thin the paint. I mean, Chara was literally brainwashed for her craziness, though she was kind of crazy before she was brainwashed. But I can't remember, was it Glemmy or was it Haman who brainwashed Chara? Because the end of Double Zeta gets really wacky, and I think it's Haman, which raises a lot of questions of why Haman made her into a dominatrix. If it was Glemmy who brainwashed, if Glemmy was the one who brainwashed Chara, I don't need to ask, oh hey, why did Glemmy make her a dominatrix? It's because he's obviously sexually repressed. Ooh. But with Haman, it raises a few more questions, doesn't it? I'm looking at okay, where there it is. I was like, I'm looking at Kaji. She looks pretty well adjusted. And right before I was gonna say she looks pretty well adjusted, I scrolled down and got to this image. I was about to say, I don't know, she looks pretty well adjusted. Oh, viewer bot on Twitch, but then I saw this image and I was like, yeah, that's no good. I'm sorry. Did this woman stab a 12-year-old in the kidney? I just got to another. Oh my god, she did. Holy shit, she is crazy. She stabbed a child in the. This is a 12-year-old boy, mind you. Oh my god, she stabbed that child in the kidney. Oh my god. What is wrong with this woman? Oh god. She was on the Haman side? Okay, I thought she was, but I don't want to assume. That means also Rose guy, whose name I can never remember. Like his name's like, what the hell is his name? Mashamir was also Haman, though that one I remember because he was like He was a total simp for Haman. That one's easier to remember. That guy literally was just like, ah, oh, Haman, I love you so much. And Haman was just like, who the hell are you? Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. What did it say? Oh my god. I'm looking forward to Victory Gundam now, just to know that there's a crazy woman in it. Thank you for that, hun. Ooh. Thank you very much for that. And that is actually the wrong size brush. This one's slightly too big. What number is it? 1. So I should go for 3? No, 3's too big still. Let's do this one. That's 3. Sorry, 3 over 0. Yeah, 3 over 0 is the best one I can do. Ooh, oh, so she's a traitor as well. Ooh, don't spoil too much. Let me discover some things for my own, but if it's not too much of a spoiler, I can take it. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait for this paint to dry again. Wonderful. Hoping thinning the paint would help a lot in getting a better coating on it, but it doesn't seem. Maybe when it dries it'll look better, but let's get to the other part. Ooh. Off stream, if you're on the Discord, you would have already seen this, but off stream I discovered something that you guys were trying to tell me last time we were talking about Digimon, and that there is a female Beelzemon. I thought we were just talking about, like, you know, the female, like, Devimon, which is, like, I think literally just called Devimon. But there is a female Beelzemon called Beelstarmon, and she looks amazing. She's a biker chick that's just rocking the greatest underboob I've seen since Tia Halibel from Bleach, which is saying something. Ooh. I really need to play Digimon. I'm so out of the loop of Digimon. Oh, that I'm just amazed at all the crazy things I'm seeing that are coming out of that have been coming out of it over the last couple of years. I mean, that's not even something new. She has to be like something probably from, like, you know, God, she's probably something. She might be 2 decades old enough to drink. You installed a PC version of Gihren's Greed. I hope it didn't have a virus. Well, what's funny about that? I hope I didn't hit the nail on the head. Of being facetious or whatever that word is. While the paint is drying, I should get like a little hair dryer to like help dry this stuff a little quicker. One of those like low power ones that are low heat so it doesn't damage the plastic. But while that's going, let me build the parts that come after this. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much for that. I'm sorry to hear your Japanese issue, because that would have been muted. But, as I was saying, on my personal account, for the rebrand, let's see here, which I should post, and so people know where to find it. But I'm kind of just not telling people, like, I haven't told certain people about the rebrand to see how long it takes for them to figure it out. But as I was saying, is I feel like I probably tipped my hand, because I'm the only person I know, and the only person I've seen that these people know, who will congratulate people with rhyme schemes. So imagine that, like, you know, like, it's just like, who's this person? And then it's just like, and then they just randomly just, you know, do a whole, like, they do a whole poem in the, like, replies. So they do, like, a mini poem in the replies, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is Merrick on an alt account. I feel like I gave away my hand way too easily. But thank you for telling me that I was muted. Thank you very much. The menus are English, but the units are Japanese. Then the PC, it's the other way around. Oh my god. Or just play, you know, both at the same time and make sure that, you know, you make the same exact progression on both at the same time and you'll be fine. You know, win the same battles in the same way, you know, you'll be fine. Just progress the story identically on 2 different saves simultaneously. Oh, well, that can't be too hard. You know, be a man, play in the worst way imaginable. I don't think I've ever actually had to sand on stream before. Yeah, I'm gonna need the polisher. Okay, you are... Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. That's good. Ooh. That's actually not good because I didn't get all of the... whatever. I really need to get one of those magnifiers. Hold up. I'm gonna use some pressurized air to get rid of the dust. Okay, and can I just go directly to this from that grain? Yes, I can. Ah, that got in my eye a little. Already talked about that. Ooh. Oh my god, there's an SCP I've seen in ways that I don't want to admit where I've seen it, but, which tells you a lot. But there's an SCP I've seen, and I've seen it all over the place, but I never really looked into it. It's called Mallow. And like, from like how much art there is of Mallow, I was like, so like this SCP is like a demon succubus or something? You know, to give you an idea of what the art always tends to be. I was like, no. What it is what Mallow is like, it's an app. And what it is like, it has pictures from like your phone, and it uses pictures and it inserts like a ghostly image into the picture. and then the ghostly image becomes more and more into the foreground until on your most recent pictures, it shows the, like, creature in it, until eventually in the corner of your eye, you see the creature, the SCP, and that's all it is. It's just, like, eventually, it's just a paranoia, like, SCP. It doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't actually interact with you directly, to my understanding. But because it has a dog head, a bunch of people are like, I can bone it. Because it has a dog skull head, people were like, Bonerville. Ooh. And I hate the internet for that reason. I found something and I wish I didn't. Ooh. Really? I caught up to my last stream's topics. Okay. I felt like I had a lot more written down. That looks good, but I still need to do a little bit more sanding on the edge here. Look at that shaky cam. Oh my god. It feels like you're back in the 2000s, doesn't it, chat? Ooh. Welcome to Cloverfield. And then this goes here. Oh god. High School of the Dead, we talked about that. Wireless keyboard, that's just a reminder. Double Zeta prototyping char clones, we talked about that already. Digiride, we talked about that. Wait a minute, you can't Digiride Angel Woman. Can you Digiride BL Starmon? Ooh. Apparently somebody said you can Digiride Lilith or something, which is insane because Lilith is even more human than Angel Woman. Or it was like, maybe it was Devi Woman. Either way, it's kind of weird that you can Digiride them, but not Angel Woman. There we go. And then... I already cleaned this part. There we go. Yeah, the annoyances of little pieces of little flecks of dust. And... they're under all of this. These should be dry enough, though, that I can now sand and clean them off. So let's do that. I don't know, chat, did I talk about, like, the times I've been in a car accident? Have I talked about that recently? Within the last, like, 2 Gunpla streams? I'm trying to get to where I haven't talked about yet. What? Anything that's big could be Digiride. Angel Woman's pretty big. Why can't I Digiride her? Ooh. It's sexism, chat. Not fair. Equal right for woman for female Digimon. Let us ride them. Don't remember. But for driving, I haven't been in a lot of accidents. But surprisingly, both accidents had the same reaction, because both times I've been in an accident, I got rear-ended, and one time was during the winter where everyone was driving 5 miles per hour because it was just pure ice on the road. It was pure ice on the road, so everyone was driving 5 miles per hour. And even driving that slow, somebody still slid and hit the back of my car. And what happened is I just immediately went... I hit the flashers, the, warning lights, so the car starts, flashing. And I just remember just, like, it was in the turning lane, so, like, there was nowhere for us to go. So we just had to, like, stay there. And what I did is like on the red light, because it was, you know, that's why they hit me, because they like went into the back of me on a red light. I just literally just like open my door, like just look, like lean out of the car, look at them through the door, and then get up, walk to the front, like walk to the back of my car, see that there's no damage done, like it wasn't even a fender bender. And I go up to their window and I'm like, so we can call insurance, but there's no damage. Like, I'm good with driving away if you're good with driving away or whatever. And like, it was so slow that it was like nothing happened. And it was like this woman, like this 20-year-old woman, and she was just like sitting there just like terrified out of her mind because she's like, my insurance premiums are about to go up. And also this dude just like is like right here. Like, she was very obviously like, you know, like terrified of the situation. And I was just like, I'm good with just driving off if you're good with driving off. And she was like, okay. And I was like, do you want to look at the front of your car to like make sure, you know, like, do you see if anything I missed? And she's like, no, I'm good. She might not have even had insurance. But the second time I was in an accident was at a red light. It was again a red light stop, but this one was really stupid. It was one of those pedestrian red lights. So it was just like in the middle of the road. So like it just caught everyone off guard when it went on. And I hit my brakes. And I came to a stop behind the car, you know, in front of me. And I was like, wow, that was close. Bam! And I just get rammed from behind. Ooh. And again, my reaction is, like, after getting hit is the same mindset of like, God damn it. We pull off to the side of the road, and my bumper is a little bent. You know, I'm gonna have to get some body work. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. The other person's car literally went under my car and just got destroyed. Like, the entire front of the car was just collapsed in on itself. Again, my bumper was a little bent. I'm gonna have to get some body work. It's gonna suck. But their car was ruined, and this guy was like on the verge of tears. He was about to have like a mental breakdown, and I was like, you doing okay there, buddy? And he's like, no. And I'm like, understandable, because you're the one at fault here. I didn't say that last part. Let's see here. This piece? Okay. But I just like thought like, yeah, that's pretty understandable. And actually, that guy pushed me into somebody else's car. But that person's car, that person actually was like the situation when the girl rear-ended me in the snowstorm. In the ice storm, rather, not snowstorm, in the ice storm. And like, it was just like the opposite side of that. It was just like, yeah, like I got pushed into your car, but there's no damage to your car. There's no visible like marks on your car or anything. It's like, and she was just like, yeah, there are. I want to resell my car, so I don't want to have an accident on the record. So do you mind if I just go away? And I'm like, I don't really give a shit. Like, well, like, I still want your insurance information just in case, you know, like I have to have it. But like, I'm not gonna bring you up unless it's required. And she's like, thank you. It's like, yeah, like, and I didn't bring her up because again, like, there is no damage to the front of the car. But this other dude, again, he was just like, he was like at his wit's end. You could tell he already had a long day and he just lost his car because that thing was driving nowhere after that accident. I was more concerned though, actually, after the accident. I was like, okay, well, like, this is a pain in the ass and like, I'm gonna have to do insurance. But my concern was more like, okay, so he damaged my trunk. Can I get into my trunk? Because I was in the city at the time. And I was in the city, like any good Gunpla fan, to buy Gunpla. So all my Gunpla were in my trunk and I was like, am I gonna be able to get those out of my trunk when I get home? Was like my biggest concern after getting rear-ended. I was like, yeah, this is annoying. You know, God, I hope my Gunpla are fine in the trunk. I hope they didn't like get like damaged somehow from the collision. That would be really bad. I'd still do kind of feel sorry for that dude who rear-ended me. That guy really was having a rough one. So your K and K20. Okay. Let's move on. Ooh. God. One thing I've actually noticed recently, and recently, like, this is the last 2 weeks, so it's not really all that recent, but for a long time, people have been like, oh, all art is political, and they've been, like, using One Piece as their example. And One Piece does have, like, you know, political undertones and whatnot to it. But the thing is, the people who are using it as, like, an example are people who are saying that, like, One Piece is, like, socialist propaganda. And people have just been going, yeah, no, Luffy, like, reestablishes monarchies. He's the opposite of a socialist. Like, the dude just goes in, and the dude goes in, and in a day, reestablishes monarchies that were overthrown by, you know, by, like, bandits and pirates. I can open the back seat, but I didn't also want to do that. Ooh, I did have that in the pocket. Like, if I needed to, I could still get at it through the back seat, but that would also be like that would still be a pain in the butt. I could still open and close the trunk, luckily. Just barely, though. I'm not gonna bother applying a second coat of paint to that. That is upside down, Merrick. You look a little dumb right now. There you go. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you dumb or are you correct? No, this is correct. Okay. It doesn't feel correct, but it is correct. Ooh. That what happened in Indonesia. Monkey 2 Luffy came along, beat the shit out of Kaido. Ooh. And then... Actually, unironically, One Piece has one of the better shonen transformations, because I remember when I, like, was reading Naruto, and Naruto did its, like, Super Saiyan, because let's just be honest, that's what all shonen transformations are. They're different flavors of... Sorry, it looks like it crashed again. Thank you, OBS. We might have a shorter stream today because the OBS crashed again. Thank you. But as I was saying, is that the transformation in One Piece, I like it. Ooh, because it's actually different. It actually is it's actually like, it makes Luffy's powers go like, it makes sense. Luffy is the rubber man. He's like a rubber hose cartoon man. So what he does is when he unlocks his true potential, he just becomes a rubber hose cartoon character with all the logic that is entailed. He becomes Bugs Bunny on, like, crack cocaine. Fun times, good, awesome. Ooh. Garma and Aayug. That'd be a good AU story. There's a lot of things like that in the AU that they don't really do, where, like, you could have, like, characters survive the 1-year war, or rather their clones survive the 1-year war and still be present in, like, what comes after. I'm not sure if they do that all that often. But what was I saying? I lost track of what I was saying now. Crap. Look in Discord. What was I saying? Like an idiot, I actually lost track of what I was actually in the middle of saying. Luffy, One Piece. Oh, his transformation. But I remember when I read Naruto, the moment I gave up on Naruto was when Naruto transformed into his, like, ultimate form. It wasn't his ultimate form because they still had modes after that, but, like, it was just a part where Naruto he transforms into a higher state, like a higher power form, and it's not really shown with any, like, it's just like somebody walks into him training and he just is effectively Super Saiyan. So it's just like, okay, well, there goes all the wind. Like, there's no real big reveal. It's not like I trained and then unlocked it. It's just like, oh yeah, he just like unlocked it off screen and he's just practicing it now, and it's like, that's really fucking boring. But not only that, but it's literally just Super Saiyan. Like, the writer realizes how stupid this is and changes it, but I just dropped it at this point because he's literally floating in the air with a gold aura suspending him, like letting him fly in the air. He just goes Super Saiyan in the manga, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. I remember just like reading it, getting to that point. I didn't even finish that chapter. I was just like, okay, I'm just done with this entire series. You're gonna love it. You're gonna like it, I guarantee it. Okay, let me look in Discord. He has the Quattro glass. It's not the Quattro glasses, but he's wearing glasses like Quattro. And I'm sorry, do you have Kira in the UC? I like how he still looks. I like how he's still in Gundam. Ooh. I like how he still looks like a twink. He has a ponytail. I do like it. I do like Karma. Welcome, Ricey. Char became Quattro simply so that the AUG would be flagged as a terrorist organization. Wouldn't be flagged as a terrorist organization. That makes a lot more sense, in all honesty, than him actually trying to hide his identity, to be fair. Because everyone in AUG is just like, yeah, you're Char. We know you're Char. Nobody is like, oh, like, there's no reveal. That's one of my favorite things, is that there's no reveal of like, actually, I'm Char Aznable from the 1 Year War. Like, it's just kind of just like dropped. It's like Noah's like, oh hey Char. The short guy who piloted the gun tank is like, hey Char. Like, they're all just like, yeah, you're Char. We know you're Char. And he's like, yeah, I know you know. It's like the worst kept secret ever. And yes, you might be like, oh well, there is the reveal when he does like this, when he does the summit in front of the Federation, and he goes like, I'm like Dekum, you know, for the diplomatic talks. That's different, and that's not real, like, that's not narratively like a big reveal that he's Char. I'm talking about like on a narrative level. They don't go like, I'm Char Aznable. I mean, like, that's more of on a world level where they're like, here's Dekum, you know. I mean, there's no, like, they don't try to hide it from you. They know, anyone watching, they know that, they know the audience knows that's Char, so they don't pull your leg and try to be like, ooh, is it? They're like, yeah, it is, you know. We're not gonna like lead you on in that regard. Amuro Axis. Bright Titan. It's like Slegger. I don't know why I read that as Bright. Because I read Bright Axis and then I read, so I read Bright Titan by accident. But Slegger Titan. I can kind of see Slegger joining the Titans. No insult to his character, but like, I can kind of see that. B. I think this is the B sprue. Yes, it is. So we need to cut off 14, 16, 17. 14, 15, 16, 17, and 15. So, do. I wonder if is there a Yazan? He's one of my favorite. He's actually one of my favorite like side characters in Zeta Gundam. The guy who is an old type pilot who can go toe to toe with who can go toe to toe with Camille, which is insane because Camille is kind of crazy powerful at that point in the series, and this dude is keeping up with Camille, and he's an old type. Oh my god, Yazan the Beast is just, he earns that moniker of the Beast. He's an absolute unit. Hell, he even pops up in Zeta, in Double Zeta Gundam. Double Zeta Gundam is kicked off because of him. Ooh. Because he doesn't die. He's one of the few people who doesn't die at the end of Zeta Gundam. So his escape pod is picked up by Judo in, it's like, I think it's picked up by Judo in Double Zeta, and that gets the plot going. He's actually a really important character in the grand scheme of things, even though he disappears after that. But he is the GOAT. Char went through 2 puberties, probably. He grew quite a lot after 79. Yeah, he was like 19 in like the 1 Year War, wasn't he? I mean, some people do grow after they're 18. Like my brother, like he's, you know, like 6'2", but like he was actually just like 6 foot until he was like 25 or 26, and then he grew like an extra 2 inches. So you can grow a little. Sometimes that does happen where you just kind of get that extra height. So that can happen, believe it or not. Ooh. There's Yazan. He appears in the 1 Year War, actually. Oh, thank God. Thank God, my goat. My goat. I remember seeing a post because there was a Gundam game where like Yazan sees the Zeta Gundam, and he just like, he gets like this wonderfully evil look on his face. He just smiles and he goes like, Zeta! And people were just like, I need to find someone who looks at me like Yazan looks at the Zeta Gundam. And when somebody said that, I was just like, dude, that's how I look at Yazan. The way Yazan looks at the Zeta Gundam is the way I look at Yazan. I just go, Yazan! He is the absolute GOAT. Ooh. Dude, I'm so happy. I'm happy he's a GOAT even in the game. Thank you, Giren's Greed. Thank you for respecting probably one of the best pilots in all of Gundam, in all honesty, because again, he's an old type pilot that keeps up with Camille at the end of Zeta Gundam and survives the final battle. Oh God, he survived. You know, I feel like that's enough. The fact that this man survives the final battle of Zeta Gundam shows just how OP he is. Because ain't nobody came out of that. Emma Sheen, my favorite character in Zeta Gundam, died in that, and her death was the dumbest thing. But we have talked about my never-ending anger to Tomino for that. Tomino is a cruel god. Okay. And then this goes here. Ooh, Yazan could probably beat the Big Zam and a Saberfish. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yazan is that goated. I could believe he could win. Ooh. Okay. So I was making sure I didn't put this on wrong. Okay, there we go. I'm upset that today's stream is probably gonna have to be like a hard 2 hour, because we've already, because OBS already crashed twice. Ooh. I say it's gonna have to be a hard 2 hour, but I mean, last stream we were supposed to like stop at the 2 hour mark, and we kind of went into 2.5 hours, didn't we? I'm really bad at like not ending stream. G? Whoop. Wait, no. We established that G is not a double screw. G is this screw. Yes. You have no panel lining work done on you. Ooh. We talked about that. That's like from 3 weeks ago, so that's not even topical anymore. White women, a wellspring of topic. Oh, middle class typical. Oh, why do I have white women here? Oh, it's about psychology. Oh, this point of the fact that it's like, oh hey, why are white people the only group of people who have an out-group preference, which means that they look at other groups of people, other races and ethnicities, and they have a higher preference to other ethnicities than they do their own. And the reason why white people have a higher preference to other ethnicities is white women. I'm not even being facetious here. It's actually white women. It's the only reason. Because the white women have a higher preference towards all the other races because they're racist and they're like, oh, I need to care more about other races because they need their care for some reason. While white men are like, oh my god, I have to deal with white women all the time. Can I hang out with my black friend? Oh, thank god. Ooh. The reason that white people have a higher racial preference, have an external racial preference, is 100% because of white women. There should be a study done on it. Oh god, you put him in and he was the only, because Yazan is the GOAT. He cannot be stopped. Ooh. He cannot be stopped. Yazan too strong. Yeah, I put him in like a formation of like, you know, an entire squadron. And like Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Hope, he's the only one that came back. What about Wedge Antilles? Nobody talks about Wedge Antilles. Not unless you're a real fan. Hello, Forrest. Came at a good time. It's always a good time. Ooh. All you guys can be here whatever time you feel most comfortable at. You're like wizards, man. You don't come too early, you don't come too late, you arrive exactly when you mean to. This piece is gonna drive me up the wall. But I hope you're having a good evening, Forrest. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. This is the same okay. Hold up, I know it's off screen, but there we go. Oh, it actually fits together. Oh my god, the chest actually fits together. The Psycho Gundam does not do that. Let's just put the head on. That's a beautiful boy. And let's see here. Let's get those power pipes on. I love how Zeon just was like, you know what? Having exposed power pipes is not a good design, but it looks really cool. Neo Zeon learned nothing from Zeon, and God bless them for it. F. This screw is B. D. H. Okay, so that means it would be one of the ones here. B. And there are double screws in here for some reason. There we go. Ooh. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. Ba, ba, ba. Spot. Oh my god. Ooh. That one's a little, you know what, I'm not actually gonna talk about that. That's actually just a really depressing topic of somebody who, it was a case of Munchausen by proxy, and if you don't know what that is, that's when a parent, pretty much a parent makes their child sick or get false diagnoses and then treat them as sick, which ends up making them sick. So they can get sympathy from other people. So they can be like, oh my god, look how much of a good parent I am because I'm taking care of this sickly child. And it's like, well, you're the one making them sick. Shh, shut up. But I actually don't want to talk about that. It's actually a really messed up story where I don't want to talk about it. It's actually really messed up. It includes brain damage. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay, but that's actually a funnier topic. And how People like to make fun of the story Grease, and if you don't know what Grease is, it's where like all the like 1940s and 50s bikers or whatever, you know, it's called Grease because they all have greased up hair or whatever, and they're part of a gang. But it's most famous because like the gang, they go around snapping their fingers, you know, they choreograph, you know, they're gonna beat your ass, but they're gonna do it in style. And if I can be honest for but a moment, if a bunch of dudes all dressed alike started doing a choreographed number as an intimidation tactic, I would actually be intimidated by it. If they're all in step, snapping their fingers at the same time, talking about like singing about how they're gonna beat my ass, I'm like what can I do about that? These guys literally are so committed to letting me know that there is no hope and I'm gonna get my ass whooped, that they created a musical number out of it. Like, I am boned in that situation. Like, real talk. Howdy, Shadow. The development from Pale Rider to Trope Straight. Wait. Trope Sitter. Oh, external pipes on a Fetty design. It happens sometimes, but it's actually kind of neat to hear an example of it. Hello, Shadow. Oh God. Well, that's a depressing topic, but we could also talk about it because it can be made. We can make a joke out of it. We can make a joke out of organ harvesting, surely. That's not even hyperbole. In Canada, there's a system called MAID, and it's medically assisted. I forget what the ID stands for, but it's pretty much, I can't say it on YouTube, but it's self-termination. It is government-assisted self-termination, and it was brought into effect for people who had like terminal diseases, who are going to die anyways, and like arguably understandable in that regard. But it's been expanded repeatedly throughout the years, and throughout the years, I mean like under a decade. You know, it's been expanded repeatedly where it's just like, oh, you feel a little sad? Have you considered lethal injection? And it's like, that's not even hyperbolic. It's like, oh my God, your kid's autistic? Have you considered lethal injection? For me or the kid? Both of you, you know, like if we get those numbers up, we can say, you know, MAID is very important and show that, you know, like it's like, and get more funding for it. Like literally it's a government program whose funding is based off of convincing people to end their own life. As you can see, there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. Not only that, but because Canada has publicly funded healthcare, the more people who use MAID means the less people who are using government who are using government because these people have like, you know, diseases and whatnot. So these people would be the biggest draws from the public healthcare system. So if they die, then they're not pulling from the healthcare system. So it's also economical in that regard. It's really messed up already, as you're seeing. Like, and it gets worse and worse because now they're like, hey, we can harvest organs and give them to people. So now after all the incentives I've already said, now MAID will be like, hey, I know you're depressed, but have you considered you have like your liver is nice and healthy, and there's somebody who might want that liver more than you. Have you considered lethal injection? It's like, it gets more messed up by the year. Ooh. I think they're opting for the idea if a baby is born with a birth defect, the mother can opt for MAID, which is post-birth abortions. Your child has a cleft chin. Has a cleft palate, which is like a separated palate. Well, you know, like, and it will take surgery to fix it. Or a little bit of lethal injection. Is this, what are we doing? I say we, it's Canada. But it's so messed up. I'm told that they push made more than the Native Americans, First Nation people. It would not surprise me because, again, if it's like America, those people are also federally funded or on federal land, or whatever Canada calls their federal land. But those people probably have like subsidies and whatnot, so that they are, again, just like the people who are chronically ill, a burden on the system, like on an economic level. So if they are a burden on the system, then it is financially incentivized to it is financially appropriate, as effed up as it is, governmentally it is appropriate to incentivize they no longer be a burden. And what's easier, to bring them out of poverty and encourage good behavior that lasts a lifetime and generations, or to just put an end to it all immediately? Okay, Merrick, you're gonna love this. Remember the transport plane from Gundam Unicorn, the one with the Zaku? Okay, yes, thank you for specifying. Yeah, like it's a little like VTOL that's like big enough for a Zaku to fit in. Ooh, I know that one. Ooh, is it in your store? Is it in Giren's Greed? I need to play Giren's Greed because if it has if it's even more than the 1 year war, I want to see all of the different designs they have in that. Pale Rider was an Earth Federation design, but pilot defected to Zeon, Neo Zeon, so the upgraded. Oh my fucking god, that's even funnier. Oh, I thought it was like a Zaku Mariner situation where like they took it, where the Federation took a Zeon design, like took Zeon elements and integrated it. No. A guy took a Federation suit to Zeon, and Zeon was like, oh, this is good. But it doesn't have enough weak spots with exposed power cables. We need to fix that right now. Oh my god, that is the most Zeon thing I've heard in a while, though. Get advanced mobile suit. First thing you do. Well, first thing you do, add more weak spots to it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Never change Zeon. The fact that Neo Zeon, it's not even Neo Zeon, it's literally old Zeon. It's all the old members of Zeon, they haven't learned any lessons. Ooh, they're just bumbling about. I mean, literally, what's the first thing Neo Zeon does in Double Zeta Gundam? They throw a colony at Dublin. Why do they throw a colony at Dublin, you might ask? I don't even know. I don't even remember if Dublin's like an important place. It probably is like Federation HQ at the time. That thing always like moves every other series. But they just throw a colony at Dublin. And it's just like, where did you even get a colony? Like Axis, you've been back into the solar system for like a week. It's been like a week you've been back, and you throw a colony immediately, and they're just like, yeah, we just were nostalgic for the old times. And it's just like, oh my god. I think they also throw a colony in Stardust Memories or something. They fire some nukes in Stardust Memories. I mean, it's Neo Zeon really are. Zeon are space Nazis. Neo Zeon are like South will rise again, like Neo Confederates, in all honesty. They're just like, we just want to do everything all over again. Ooh. And both fled to Brazil. What does that tell you? Ooh. The Fat Uncle? Ooh. That name sounds familiar. Is that its canon name? Or no, I think like one of the transport ships during the 1 year war is called like, also called like the Fat something. Ooh. Or it's called, like, it's either called Fat or it's called Uncle. There's another, the transport vehicle from the 1 year war that's like in one episode of the original series also has like a weird name like that. And we... Quick question, why are we being difficult? Why are we choosing hate? Why are we... Just go together. Go Why are you not going together? What have I done wrong here? Hold up. Why do you refuse to put... Hold up, this is gonna take a minute. This sucks. This unironically sucks. Give me... Ah! The pieces are so small. Okay, jeez. They're so small that they hurt to push together, but you actually have to like force them together because they're so tight. And now I need to get some lighter fluid. Give me one moment. Out of context, that will never not sound weird. It will never not sound weird. We just going like, okay. I'm gonna get some butane. It's not butane, but we don't use butane here, chat. Butane is a bastard gas, as Hank Hill taught us. Remember to hold your nose so you don't get brain damage. Very important, chat. I don't want you guys to get brain damage like me. So always remember, do not breathe through your nose when there is active lighter fluid in the area. Yeah, let's just get that lighter fluid all over my gloves. Then I'll put my finger in an electrical outlet. What could happen? Ooh. I've seen that. I need to check out P-Bandai, because apparently there's a bunch of stuff on P-Bandai right now. But yeah, I've seen that, and it looks pretty good. I'm not a fan of the RX-78, even though I have so many RX-78s, but even I'm like, I kind of want to get that. But yeah, the 7th Gundam, I've seen that going around. A lot of people have been talking about it, because it looks really good. The mold and design all look pretty damn good. Ooh. But yeah, it looks better than like the Revive does. The Revive was so disappointing because the Revive is still one of those kits where it's like super easy and accessible, so it doesn't do anything really wild with its design. It's baby's first Revive, so it's still like really safe. I thought I broke it for a moment, but no, the fins can just do that. I forgot. Okay. Ooh, the G liner is probably the closest thing we have to a Revive, in all honesty. I mean, the Gelgoog, the GQ Gelgoog is the closest thing we have to a like Revive GM at this point, which is insane. Okay, it does have a Gunpla. The G-Line actually looks pretty cool. The G-Line kind of feels like a Ver-Ka or a Kai design, depending on like which ones are which. Where it's like kind of like one of those like 90s redesigns, like what you'd see in War in the Pocket or something. It might actually be that, in all honesty. Huh? Huh? But this is some thick plastic here. This kid has been pretty forgiving up until this point, but oh my god, look at that! Look at that sprue mark. Holy, I should have used a god hand here. You know, I'm gonna see if I can get the god hand out real quick and see if that goes any better. That is a horrible sprue mark. I mean, mind you, it's in a place that you're almost never going to see it. That is a bad sprue mark. Okay, that one cut off a lot better. And then we need what is the piece? We need N. N10? Yes. And let's see how this all of this plugs in. So I think this goes here, and then this is. I hate I hate this. Oh god, it's reminding me of the original Psycho Gundam build. Okay, it's not as bad as the original Psycho Gundam build, but oh my god, that is unpleasant. Ooh, I've talked about that before. Wait, Truman? Oh, okay. I was like, why did I have Truman and Dozel Zabi in the same, like, thought process? It's because Truman, after he dropped the bomb on, like, Japan, he had, like, after Dozel Zabi dropped the colony, Dozel Zabi was like, I'm a monster, you know, he had that moment. And Truman had a similar moment where he was like, I'm a bad person for dropping the bomb. And then Oppenheimer walked into his office for a meeting, and Oppenheimer started going on about like how he was the monster, by which I mean Oppenheimer was saying that he himself was the monster. Like, I developed this nuke, and I'm the one responsible for taking all these lives. And Truman was just sitting there, and just over like the course of like Oppenheimer talking about how he's Vishnu, destroyer of worlds and shit like that. Like, just Truman was just gradually just beginning to hate him more and more until the point where he literally just told Oppenheimer to get the hell out of his office, and he told like the person next to him, never let me talk to that man ever again. That absolute pussy. He wasn't the one that dropped the bomb. It was me who dropped the bomb. What, like, he literally, like, excoriated him. It was like, this dude comes into my office, starts talking about fucking, like, Indian mysticism and shit, and about how he's the one who's guilty for killing all the Japanese. No, that's my guilt. How dare you try to take that from me, you absolute whining prick. Ooh. G-Line is a better, even way? Wait. Luna Titanium are, oh, damn. So it's like, it looks really nice in all honesty. And I'm gonna guess it's P Bandai in all honesty, but let me, it doesn't show. G-Line, yeah, P Bandai. Thank you for saying that. So that means it's either like $30 or like, oh wow, look at all those armor attachments. Yeah, you're $50, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not getting that. Yeah, I'm just gonna accept right now I'm never getting that. With all those armor attachments, that shit's gonna be expensive. G-Leg has a bootleg? Ooh, you don't say. I've been looking into bootlegs recently. Ooh, I try to avoid bootlegs, but if it's a $50 P Bandai, that might be an exception. Ooh, but thank you. It's like half the cost. Well, it's like $30. Let's see where the H. Wait, is it H a double piece? Hold up, let me find a screw real quick. Let me be turned away. Don't do anything naughty. H, found it. I need H. 14. Wait, does that just mean there's a redundancy? Give me 1 minute. Wait. There's H14. Okay. Well, welcome, Zazabi. Yeah, that's pretty much my logic. Ooh. Don't get a, like, don't want to get a bootleg unless it's just either, unless there is no like main model, like, or the model's really old. Like if the only option is like I have to spend like $70 or get a model from like the year like 1994 or something. It's like, well, okay, a bootleg is literally just the more sensible option. Or if the or even if it's not that old, but the quality's not that great, like the Kshatriya high grade, I would not recommend to like anyone. I've never seen anyone who's happy with it. That's also a good point, where you can just get the colors already on certain bootlegs. They have variants, which is their selling point. Let me see over to Ricey. Zaku, the Zaku got colored hands in the anime. How do I like fold your head down with? Oh. Kalashnikov also had similar thoughts on Oppenheimer later in his life. That's kind of funny that there are two different, like, a president and Kalashnikov were both. So I was like, this guy's a prick. I think also, like, Einstein also kind of wasn't the biggest fan of him, but don't quote me on that one. Where Einstein was like, I'm the one who made all the theories, like, you know, about this. And, like, you just took my theories and applied them to, like, making a bomb. Like, Oppenheimer kind of had a big ego about himself, and then, like, that ego manifested into, like, how I'm the most important person ever, and I'm the one responsible for all the world's woes. And it's like, Oppenheimer, shut the hell up. Oppenheimer, you'll have a pretty good movie that's 3 hours long, and that's the only reason people will ever know your name. Oh, here it is. Wait, is this M1 or is this M2? This is M2. Crap. Okay, hold up. Before I can reach out, I need to find this real quick. Here it is. Okay. Please get away. Okay. Ooh, Psycho Gundam in AU colors. That actually does sound pretty nice. Actually, what is it? I forget what it is, but it's like it's the one like mobile armor that has a skirt and like a claw arm that Jared pilots. And I've seen that actually at my local hobby store, but I just don't like I just don't like its colors. And I would absolutely get the like gray and black version of it from Zeta Gundam. But that's like a P Bandai exclusive, and that kind of annoys me. Normally I'm okay with P Bandai's being colored like variants, but that one for some reason annoys me just because I prefer that color. Ooh. I forget what it's called. It has like it's one of those mecha it's one of those Gundam suits that has like a really, just a name that in English just sounds so weird. Ooh. I think it's like also, I don't think it's 40 meters tall. I think it's like a 30 meter when it's in a mobile suit. Yeah, it's the Bondoc. Thank you. Ooh. The Bondoc, I'm sure, is a good mold. It's just, it's really petty. I just don't like the colors. It's kind of like the Dozen Wolf, where like I actually don't have a problem with the Dozen Wolf, but even in the anime, they're like, wow, this is the ugliest thing. Like the colors are the ugliest thing ever. Oh god. Even in the anime, the character literally calls up Glemmy and is like, I have to pilot this thing? And he's like, yeah, what's the problem? Have you seen the paint job on this thing? And he's like, and Glemmy just goes like, dude, don't be a bitch. Hey, like, we're going to war. Don't be like, oh no, the paint job looks bad. It's like, dude, the paint job is so bad, it's gonna demoralize my men. And he's like, then make your men not be a bunch of sissies, okay? We have like, we literally have to go to battle in like 5 hours. We don't have time to repaint this stuff. And it's like, oh. like teal too, so like I would be the one person who should like the Does and Wolf colors, and I don't. I'm gonna guess it's like green, because that's pretty much what all the unicorn things are, but Does and Wolf, unicorn. Like all of them are just green. Oh, is it blue? Hold on, which one are you? It's actually blue, which is surprising because almost everything is like made green. Like the Baowu is now green. Actually, the Baowu was green in Zeta Gundam already. Wait, no, Double Zeta Gundam. There was a green one of that already, but I'm actually surprised it's not green in general, is what I'm trying to say. I'd say it's a nice blue. Ooh. Saw a third party, Jada. Ooh. Oh, Jeddah. Yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing that. I've also been seeing that going around, the Jeddah, the Amuro custom Jeddah that's been going around. I did not know that was third party, but I also wasn't giving a good enough look at it. Not surprised that it's third party though. It's really just a paint job difference. There's a little bit of a proportional change as well, I'll admit. But it's 90% the paint job. They didn't mess with the proportions as well, but it's really the paint job that makes the biggest difference. What time are we at? Oh wow, we're over 2 hours and stream hasn't crashed again. Ooh, but we now have shoulders. This kit is taking even longer than I expected. Ooh, Amuro also has different armored parts. Okay. Let's see here. D. I've been pulling out the D through this whole stream and not being able to use it. It feels your time has come. I got it the wrong word. And that's supposed to be, I panel lined these the wrong colors. Sorry for cursing. I panel lined these the wrong colors. But I just, this is supposed to be blue, as in allusion to for Masamune? Oh, no. Not, the other one, the other crazy woman who, it's a new type, so they're all crazy. But the other, like, one who, like, thinks that Camille is her brother, I think, is the one who pilots the Psycho Gundam Mark II in Zeta Gundam. Ooh. Wait, no, the blue was for 4. It wasn't for her. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing. Why did I cut that out? I don't need it right now. Okay, so I'm making mistakes. Don't worry about it. Rosemi. You're good with those names, damn. Ooh. It's kind of funny how the Psycho Gundam Mark IV is smaller. That is true. Kind of presages the miniaturization, but whatever. I'm just not even gonna try. My speech impediment's not gonna let me. But how it presaged those elements. D13, D12. Okay, so 13, 12. And then we're gonna cut off these pieces. Because we genuinely need to do a double build at this point. And normally I would not do it on a build of this scale, but it is still a high grade, so I'm hoping I won't get boned by that. Universal Century is the one that has the most flushed out to it for obvious reasons. But I'm just terrible with names in general, so like for me, I half the time don't remember Yazan, and Yazan is like probably my favorite old type pilot. Half the time I don't remember his name. I always forget the name. I just forgot his name. Of Gus. It's so simple. I'm like, I can't have forgotten a guy named Gus. But Gus from Char's Counterattack, I think his name is Gus. I think it's like with 2 S's for some reason. I can't remember a dude who's named Gus, chat. I am deep fried. I am not simply cooked. I am deep fried. Turn me over. Let me drown in the oil. I've always been terrible with names. Gus. Oh my god, I did get it right. And it does have two S's in it. There's no way I'm gonna remember Gnai or Gnay. Ooh. I don't remember how to pronounce it, and I'm looking right at it. Well, I can't color over the. I could do blue over top of the red that I already have, but that seems like a bad idea. I'll just stick with the red, and then this piece. Okay, and then this piece. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of an easy redesign just to make everything green. Actually, speaking of a unicorn suit though, I'm still waiting. They will reprint almost every unicorn suit, it feels like at times, except for the Zulu, which is weird, because you think that they would reprint the Zulu, because it's literally a grunt suit, but I have seen so many other suits reprinted over, like, before the Zulu. They reprint the Zulu Rosen. Like, literally custom versions of the Zulu. They're like, we'll reprint this, but not the Zulu. Not that one. That one has to be $50 on eBay, because we just haven't reprinted it in years. It's a kit that should only cost like $20 at most. Screw you though. Gnay. I still find his death one of the funniest ones in all of Gundam. Dude's literally hyping himself up the entire, like, Char's counterattack. He's like, I'm gonna defeat Amuro, and then after proving that I can beat Amuro, that'll show that I can defeat Char, and I'm gonna defeat Char. And he goes up to fight Amuro, and I think he gets, like, BTFO'd. But then, like, in the final fight, he goes to fight Amuro again, and Amuro just goes like, who the hell are you? Shoots him in the back and flies off. Like, he just no respect. Amuro's just like, excuse you, like, you are not in my league. You are not worth even slowing me down in this fight. I need to go fight Char. You are not even a speed bump to me. And it's just like, oh my god. Ooh. The Gaza Sea, Isaac. I didn't know those were P Bandais. Of course they are, though. But the Gaza Sea, that one doesn't. Oh. Oh, the Gaza. Actually, when is the Gaza Sea high grade from? I wonder. 2006. Ooh. But they did a reprint of it. Oh, is that a different? I don't know if that's a reprint or a different color scheme, but yeah. Oh, the P Bandai is the Ewak, like the Ewak Zack, or however you say it. The the one that does like reconnaissance, the Gaza and the Gira all in one box. Actually, that's actually a nice deal, Bandai. Ooh. That makes it a little more reasonable. Unless that's the only way you can get any of them individually, then that's a little less reasonable. They came all in one box. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking at. 500 Optimus with the Bumblebee figures in the Transformers community. Oh yeah, okay. I thought you said like there's a $500 Optimus Prime, and I was thinking only 500. No, yeah, the fact that, like, because Optimus Prime and Bumblebee's the mascot, Optimus Prime is just the main character of Transformers, so there's just so many Bumblebees and Optimus Primes, like, models. Ooh, it's like the RX-78 of Gundam, where it's just like, and the thing is, like the RX-78 of Gundam, it's kind of also like like new person friendly. So if you want like a really good version of them, you either have to like spend a lot of money, or you get like just kind of like, you know, the like normal accessible version, and there's like not really an in-between version of like the RX-78 or Optimus Prime and Bumblebee sometimes. It's kind of a weird situation. Oh my god. $3,000 Prime? Jesus Christ. How much does the one that actually transforms it by itself? How much does that one cost, I wonder? There is a $500 Opti. Well, I already knew that. I don't need to be told. I don't need to look outside to know the sky is blue. Sinanju Stein gives me such a weird feeling. I feel they designed the red Sinanju first. Yeah, they did. You feel that way because they absolutely did. They designed the Sinanju and then they're like, okay, we're gonna make it more angular and less like all... We're gonna make it a more angular version of it instead of all the flowing angles that naturally go with it. And if you like the flowing angles, you're gonna look at the Stein and be like, yeah, this is just a weird, like, boxy version of it. However, I love boxy robot design, so actually I prefer the Sinanju Stein myself. But yeah, they absolutely just went, we're gonna just like load... We're gonna take the Sinanju and just lower the graphics. That's pretty much what they did with the design of the Sinanju Stein. Ooh. Which is fair, because it's supposed to be like a prototype, so it having more simple angles does make sense in that regard. Robosen Prime is not what you'd recommend. No. Shadow would probably want to know that more. Because she's the, Shadow on YouTube is the one who is the Transformers fan. I really hope. I've been seeing, like, there's been buzz. It's like this endless... It's the rumor that never dies, but it never dies because everyone wants it to be true. And it's the rumor that they're bringing the Transformer Wars for Cybertron games back onto Steam, because they keep updating the games for some reason, but they're not re-releasing the games. They keep updating the games, and everyone's just like, are they going to re-release it? And it's one of those things where it's just like, you want to say nothing ever happens, but at the same time you're like, but I kind of want something to happen. Gee, it's $700. Jesus Christ, and from what he said, it doesn't even sound like it's all that good. Grimlocks are always, from what I've seen, well designed, to be honest. I shouldn't say always, but from what I've seen, it does feel like Grimlocks, they do go that extra distance. Then again, Grimlock also just kind of has that really clean transformation where he just does a handstand and then like turns himself backwards. It's a really satisfying animation, but it's also just really clean, like in making your robot transform in general. You don't need nearly as much origami as some other Transformers. I'm looking for H-Sprue. Having a little bit of a... B I A I feel like an idiot right now. There's so many sprues to keep track of. Ah, okay. So it's kind of like a Blade Runner, well, it's like Blade Runner the game situation where, like, they want to re-release it, and they did, Night Dive Studio did, but for the longest time, they didn't have the game files because the developer who originally made the Blade Runner game, when they were bought by EA, the files were just lost. Nobody knows where they went because nobody cared for where they went. So like everyone was like, we want a remaster, but nobody could find it. And then Night Dive Studios came in and was like, we'll help you out, because Night Dive Studios is that Chad. Night Dive Studios, one of the best remastering and also remaking companies out there. Their whole business model is just remasters and remakes, and they're really good at it. Found 8, by the way. But good to know that there is a desire to re-release it. But sadly, Activision, like EA, probably is, you know, it's easier said than done to get them off their ass. It looks weird, like it's supposed to be the one that came up first, but okay, I can also see that. For me, the simpler angles make it feel like it's the simpler design, but I can see how, because both it comes out second, and it probably got retrofits to be on standard with the Sinanju at least, that it feels like the upgrade when it's supposed to be the predecessor. That's one of those kind of confusing things when you take a prequel suit and then upgrade it. 12? I'm slouching. Posture check, chat. Make sure you have good posture. I'm sorry, I hit the camera, didn't I? We're gonna finish the shoulder pads, and I think that's where we're gonna call it for today. I really don't want to. I know if I don't call it at that point, we're gonna go into 3 hours, and I really don't want to do that. Especially considering I still have to edit the video for this week. It took me how many days just to get it into the proper... It's not even fully done yet with the timing, but it's almost done with the timing to get like everything at the proper like time codes and whatnot. And it took me... This is the first time I've ever worked on something like this, so I took like a 3-hour stream, and I'm condensing as much as I can into like 29 minutes, which is really difficult, and it's the first time I've ever done something like this. And it's been very grueling. It's taken me like the better half of a week just to get to where it is now. And tomorrow I'm gonna have to spend as much time as I can just putting in zoom-ins, things that hide hard cuts, like inlays, like asset inlays, text and whatnot for like subtitles for moments that have high emphasis. And then I have to do all of that before Friday because it has to release on Friday. Oh god. I hope they are just sitting around. I hope they're not lost like the Blade Runner files were for the longest time. But again, the problem is it's also Activision who just, again... It will never not be amazing to me how Bungie left Microsoft, how how BioWare left Microsoft, and both of them went to worse companies somehow. It's like Microsoft is awful, absolutely terrible. But then like BioWare was like, okay, we're free from Microsoft. Let's go to EA. And it's like, what? Hey guys, we got out of the 5th circle of hell. Let's just go to the 9th circle. Let's just skip straight there real quick. And then with Bungie, they went from like teaming up with Microsoft to teaming up with Activision, and so it's like, oh my god, how does this keep happening? How do companies leave Microsoft, which is an awful company to begin with, and then go, we're gonna team up with worse companies somehow? It's just like, we didn't like working with Microsoft. We thought they were too much of an evil, soulless corporation, so we're gonna work with EA instead. What? Oh my god, Always feels so silly whenever I remember that. And then C. Oh my god, I have to find C. C actually isn't a double screw, is it? It's a single screw. Let's see if I can find that. D, F. Were you a double? No, you're not. Surprisingly enough. Okay, found it. It's called money. It's just always so funny. Ooh. It's funny that it keeps happening. I mean, sometimes the companies are just bought up by the bigger company, and like that's different. Like EA being like, ah, yes, we're going to buy this small studio so we can have the game. Okay, so that means you're gonna make more of the game, right? What? You're gonna make more of the game. Make more of what game? The game you just bought the studio to have the licensing rights for. Why would we make more of the game? In fact, we're going to take it off the storefront so nobody has the game at all. Why did you do this? Why did you buy it? You're not doing anything. It's the smiling friends joke where it's just like, it's my IP to sit on and do nothing with. Only it's like, it's not even their IP originally. They bought it from someone else and then they do nothing with it. And it's just like, why? Why did you buy it to do nothing? Like, that has to be a money sink at that point. Like, you didn't even like do anything with it. You just bought it and then did nothing. Okay, so 13, 14, okay. So L2. Oh, and then we're gonna finish until like 240. God. I know I'm a slow builder, but this makes me feel like I'm just a moron on how slow it goes. Help you speak to the den section. Oh, okay. Bethesda is not the same company it used to be, and that's why I have like no hope for what they're making. It's one of those companies that's like, at this point, all the developers are like, have changed, and all the ideology, all the like business ideology and all the creative like, you know, endeavor has just shifted or is gone. And so for me, it's like, it's not even the same company it used to be. But like, people are like, oh, Elder Scroll, like the next Elder Scrolls, surely it'll be good. And it's like, I'm just like, I'm not holding my breath for it in all honesty. You know? Like, the fact of the matter is, it's more likely to be like Starfield than it is to be like another Skyrim, or it's not gonna be another Morrowind. Oh, I'm sorry if okay, that explains. Some of them I read, but I think you're right. I did. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna read those. Ooh, I did read your propaganda and whatnot comments. I just didn't say anything on them at the time. Ooh. Sorry about that. Oh, I know how Shockwave in IDW, how he's actually like a victim of torture. Ooh. Yeah, but I'm sorry if I've missed some. Ooh. I know I missed some, but I'm sorry I also just didn't comment on some other ones. Ooh. They fixed a lot of issues in 76. It sounds like it's one, from my understanding, it's one of those games that's over time just continued to be developed and actually been able to be responsive to what people want and desire from the product, which is one of the few good things of a live service game, is that it can be developed after release. Ooh. But if I missed a few, like, I know I missed a few, but like, the context is kind of lost in general. So I'm sorry about that, Ricey. Ooh. All the developers are automatons. Oh my god. That's true for a lot of products nowadays. Oh, people are talking about the insane game design, and when I say insane, I mean in a bad way, of like the new Pokemon game, how they're just like making every dumb decision you can imagine with like how the game is set up. Like apparently like the city is like a single model or something, and I can't believe that's true, but people keep saying it, and I'm like, there's no way they made every building a single model like in the files of the game. And so all that has to load in at once. Like that would be one of the dumbest things you could ever do on a development level. Like that makes no sense, and people keep saying it though, and I'm like, wait, is it a joke? Is it happening? Hold on, let me see, make sure I don't get behind again. Ooh. Well, I mean, Morrowind was bigger. Morrowind is, I think, still the biggest Elder Scrolls game, to be fair to it. Ooh. Okay, let me put in the, what do I need to put in? C. Ooh. Well, I want to see if I can actually find the context that I lost. Oh. Wait. What exactly? Because I don't see the original thing that you were talking about, Ricey, but I see the AI is a good thing because it lets you speak to the dead, which it does not. But that I've seen people do that where it's like, oh, you get to speak to these people. No, you get to speak to a facsimile of them. You get to speak to a bastardization of them. But like, yeah, that's ugh. But yeah, it's language models and it's not the people. I don't like when people are like that. When people try to sell AI like it's more than just an algorithm. Ooh. Where it's just marketing. I mean, the fact that we call it AI itself is a marketing stunt because it's not artificial intelligence. It's just algorithm. It's algorithmic inference, but it's more marketable to call it AI, to call it artificial intelligence and freaking. Ooh. If I became rich, I wouldn't say anything, but there would be signs. It's gonna be 6-foot shockwave. I thought it was going to be the Fortress Maximus. Oh, this is what I was looking for. It's like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is another good example of a game that just keeps getting updates, and people are like, yeah, No Man's Sky is actually like nice and worth picking up. Ooh. Did it? Get this and this, and then this goes here and here. Ooh. You can't ride your Pokemon. Every time I see a Pokemon fan, I ask, so like, wait, I thought that's something that wait, did they take away that feature from Pokemon? Because that was literally a feature in like, that was a feature on the DS Pokemons where you could ride your Pokemon. Did they just go like, ah, you know what, we're not gonna do that anymore? Why do they keep taking away features? Like, they keep adding and taking away features. But, like, up until now, they've just, like, kept taking them away. But now they're like, oh, hey, here's Mega Evolutions back, and people are like, thank you for bringing them back. And then they see the Mega Evolution designs, and they go, actually, no, we're not thankful. What the hell is this shit? Because it's so phoned in. You can tell they, like, brought back Mega Evolutions, not because they were like, oh, hey, Mega Evolutions are cool, and we want to revisit them. It's because people are like, Pokemon, we're really annoyed with you. Can you do something we want you to do? And they're like, well, you've been bitching about Mega Evolutions for the last 10 years. So here's a Megalium with extra, like with an extra long neck and extra like petals on its flower. And it's just like, that is the shittiest design. Pokemon is slowly like devolving into like Sonic the Hedgehog, where people are just like, yeah, the best we can hope for is mediocrity. The Rob yeah, Meganium. I don't know if I said it was that one, but yeah, Meganium is just. I think I might have said like it's other evolution. Like, I don't even know what type it should have been, but like what it just shouldn't have been like that awful design. Like, when I saw the victory, like the Mega Victory Bell, I was like, that's a funny design. I didn't know that would be one of the better designs. I've seen like the Feraligatr or whatever it's called, Mega Evolution. It doesn't look like Feraligatr. It looks so weird. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Ooh. It's all so tiresome. I'm just gonna put these here so I don't lose them. Okay. And God, this is a slow dude, but I think next time we'll probably have the arms done, and then the stream after that we'll probably have the legs done. So we are making good progress on him. It's just that he's so big, everything feels really slow. But I'm gonna read the rest of chat, and I'm going to find a place to link you guys out to. Ooh, so give me one moment. Yeah, we are almost at 45, which is way later than I wanted to be. It's almost 11 o'clock, oh my goodness. Why am I moving the camera? That's the one thing I don't need to move. Okay, the microphone is moved, and let me move chat up. Let me move both of the chats up real quick. And find a place to link you beautiful, beautiful people out to. Okay, I was figuring you were talking about the new Tron, but I couldn't find, like, the post that, like, referenced Tron specifically. I might have just missed it, or for all I know, YouTube censored it for no reason. It's YouTube. But I probably just missed it. I figured you were talking about the new Tron. I kind of want to watch it just so I can complain about it. Like Jurassic World or Romulus. Meanwhile, Digimon is cooking. I need to look at Digimon, like, not only because of, like, what we've been talking about on stream, but just because, like, how bad Pokemon is getting, I'm honestly just like, you know what, I should check out Digimon. I've neglected you for too long, old friend. Oh yeah, also Pal World, that thing has just destroyed so much. Pokemon already didn't have a lot of goodwill, and they're like, let's ruin it even more by just suing a company that's doing the stuff that people want us to do. Brilliant move, Game Freak. You hope Wayward Realm is good. Oh, it's made by the old developers for Daggerfall and Morrowind. Yeah, I was gonna say there's an option where they might just go too deep into the RPG elements of those classic games and make it a little too finicky and not streamlined. I know streamlined was like a dirty word in the like 2010s, but there is a purpose for streamlining. And yeah, they might just make too much for their own good. It's either like, it's something to be optimistic for, but it's something to be cautiously optimistic for. It's not Jared Leto this time. Jared Leto is one of those actors who I will defend on the state that you just need a good director for him. You need somebody who can be like, hey, Jared, pay attention. This is the character you're supposed to be playing, okay? You're not supposed to be a messianic figure. Though apparently in Tron, he's a messianic figure. But that's not the point. Where it's just like, hey, Jared, lock in. Okay, no. Stop being a method actor, okay? Stop mailing dead animals to your fellow cast members, okay? I need you to just take a step back and lock in for a moment. And when you can get a director who can do that for him, he does a great performance. But when a director just lets him go wild, it's a bad time. Ooh, but I'm talking too much and I need to find a place to send you beautiful people out to. Let's see here. Let me find somewhere on Twitch first. Ooh. Let's go here. His robotic acting is actually a good thing. That's so mean. Oh god, dude, we have not linked to Hiragi in a long time, but do we link to Hiragi? Oh, let me see here, chat. Sure, I'm probably gonna link to Hiragi on YouTube as well, but... Okay, it's BRB. I was like, why is she playing the violin if she's in, like... Okay, she's BRB, so there you go, Twitch. What? Let's see what you guys put. You playing a new Digimon game? Ooh, you'll tutor me? I'd appreciate it. Let's see here. I clicked on the wrong thing, didn't I? Here, this is, okay. History. Oh, that's 90 tabs. No wonder OBS crashed. No wonder OBS crashed. That's... Oh, can you tell one of my Oshis is cured? Oh my god. Oh, 90, not normally, you know, it's not that bad. Normally it's only 50 open tabs. Now, you know what, I'm just gonna link you both. I'm gonna link both of you guys to Hiragi. Ooh. So here is the link. She's building the Narrative Gundam Awakening version high grade. So there you go, my friends. Ooh. Look at the poll. You're right, I need to end the poll before I end stream. Thank you very much. I forget to do that. Okay, so end poll. Okay. So, we have Chara Soon, Lady Oon, okay, so Relina and Flay have 13% both. And also, Chara and Lady Oon also tied in first place. You guys don't know if you want schizophrenic or... Actually, wait, no, they're both schizophrenic, aren't they? You guys like schizophrenic horny women. Yeah, I put the link for Hiragi there, but thank you so much for reminding me to end the poll. I fucking forget. Oh my goodness, but the link is there, and I'm just gonna do my closer real quick. Ooh. Let me just read some last things. The film is really fragmented and is somehow a corpo AI shill, like, oh my god. So it's really just an advertisement for AI, for like AI. Oh my god, that sounds so fucking right. It's just marketing the movie. That's what I want my cult classic sequels to be. Just stop with that BS, please, Hollywood. No one's gonna buy into it now. Glasses can be pretty hot. But thank you for joining us, chat. We will be back tomorrow with the finale of Mario Odyssey, which I should have been promoting a lot more than I have, but that's just gonna be a fun stream. Probably gonna be the typical start time of a little after 8. Hope you can join us. We also should be tomorrow getting the heart rate monitor, which I hopefully will be able to... I just realized the desktop audio was on this whole fucking time. And I didn't have anything else on in the background except for Hiragi's stream was on for a moment there. But that means the music was really loud all stream, and I'm sorry about that. Sorry! I hope that wasn't too bad for the audio quality. I'm really sorry about that. But that won't be a problem on Friday, where we will be having the Alien Isolation stream, and we will actually be testing the heart monitor tomorrow during the Mario Odyssey stream. So we should have a heart monitor for both tomorrow's stream, for the heart racing action of me being terrible at platformers, and me having a heart attack while playing Alien Isolation. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you, have a wonderful life, and catch you cowboys next time. And remember, don't lose your head. That's the starting screen, you moron. There we go. I can't believe I had the wrong music on this whole time. That's really bad. That's really awful. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I will make sure, it's because I was doing all the editing. All the editing I was doing, I was having to, like, you know, get more clips, having to record new clips and whatnot, and I forgot to turn off the desktop audio. Again, I hope the music wasn't too loud during stream. Have a good night, everyone. Or